Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm here to a brand new video. Today we are here for the WPL Season 7, I think. It's Season 7 or 8, I think it's 7. It's definitely 7. Yeah, Season 7 of WPL. This is my draft analysis, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to dive into this. Before we start, I just want to say thank you to Sohan for the kind of art you're seeing on the screen right now, kind of the draft stuff. I don't quite know what it's called, but yeah. And I don't know who made the thumbnail, but whoever made that, thanks. So I don't really know who Sohan's getting to make those, but I'll probably find out eventually. So yeah. Anyway, before we begin this draft analysis, I just want to quickly do a quick recap of what happened last season. I never actually got around to making a recap of last season. So yeah, last season, I had a pretty okay team, I guess. It was not in my opinion, it was probably my second worst WPL team behind season 3. I feel like that was easily my worst, but season 6 team wasn't very good, and I actually did pretty well first half of the season. I went 5-1, and then second half I went 2-4. So like I really fell off in that second half, and I went 7-5 overall. I did not make playoffs. I believe 8-6 in my sorry, not 8-6, 8-4 in my division was the playoffs. So I needed one more win, and unfortunately I didn't claw that. If I could have got one more win, then I definitely would have been able to make playoffs, but we didn't. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened last season. Now this season, my team's very different to my last season one. I don't think I have a single mon from that draft. I did not like that really at all. I don't know. I don't have a mon from that draft. But I am drafting a lot of this team from old drafts or just stuff I've used before, pretty much, because I want to kind of know exactly what to do with most of my stuff. Because I feel like last season I didn't really know what some of my mons did. This season I feel like I go in with a team I feel like a lot better with. There's literally like 2 mons on this team I've never used before, so I feel good about that. Anyway, let's jump straight into the draft. My first pick of the draft is going to be my first tier 1, because honestly, if you don't pick a tier 1 or a mega, or like a good mega first, I feel like that's not really a round 1 pick, is it? So, I got my pick. I believe I've used this a few times before. That is Manaphy. I used this back in WPL 2, WPL 4, and PWC 7. So I've used this 3 times before, and I'm using it once again. So I'm really happy about that. It is my Z captain, meaning I can use Z offensive moves and non-Z Z moves that aren't offensive. So like Z tail glow, which I don't actually know what that does. But more importantly for Manaphy, it's going to be Z rain dance for that speed boost. That is super helpful. I believe I used that quite a bit in PWC 7, and Manaphy did really well for me in that. It picked up a couple of sweeps. It got me my only 6-0 so far in draft kind of history for me. So that was nice. Me having 2 6-0, me having one kind of my best game, I would say, or one of my best games with this, and honestly, in the whole time I've used this, I really kind of, I feel like I've done pretty well with it, and it's really quite a good mon, base 100 in every stat, gets access to a good chunk of specially offensive stuff. It's mainly going to be Tail Glow, maybe Rain Dance, into attacks, free attacks, something like that. But you can run like Calm Mind, and offensively wise, this gets Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Ice Beam, Scold, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, stuff like that. So it has a lot of options for Z moves, which is really nice. Also, it has knockoff, so I could run Dark EMZ Manaphy. That's something I want to try, but I doubt I will. I really won't. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with Manaphy as the first pick in this league. Manaphy is one of my favorite mons to have, and I honestly didn't think I'd get it because I was sure Sohan would franchise it, but he didn't. I also didn't franchise Kieran Black this season, which I feel like I could have and probably should have, but I didn't. Anyway, let's move on to pick number 2. My pick number 2 is Victini. I completely love this mon. I believe I've only used it twice in Draft League before, being WPL 2 and PWC 5, I believe. So I had this and Manaphy on a team before, and they were a very good combination, and I still believe they are. Both mons have a base 100, and they both hit very hard. Victini hits pretty hard on both sides, actually, so it can be mixed. It can be physical, special. I could even run, I guess, a slightly bulky variant, like dual screens, stuff like that. I don't think I ever will, but, you know, just giving you some options. You know, U-turn gives this thing some really nice, you know, momentum. V-create pretty much OHKOs every mon. Not every, but it does a lot. Bolt Strike is a really nice physical electric move. Zen Headbutt's pretty nice to have, stuff like that. Sub Victini is pretty good as well. That's another option I have. Then on the special side, you have things like Searing Shot, if you can go for, you know, some boosts, which I believe the only thing this gets to boost is Calm Mind. It doesn't get Calm Mind, it doesn't get anything to boost. I forget the only way that Searing Shot's viable is if you have Z-Celebrate, which is of course banned. So, yeah, but it gets some decent special attacks. Overheat, I believe it gets Flamethrower. It does Fire Blast, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Focus Blast, stuff like that. I believe it gets some other stuff as well. Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Glaciate, which is a really nice special attack. It's not the strongest, but it will always drop speed, and that is super good in Draft League. I feel like it's just super good in competitive, because everything is pretty much fast these days that people find good. But yeah. Moving on, I'm going to go into my third pick. This is my Mega Pokemon, and I decided to go over Tier 2 Mega this season. I'm pretty much always going for Tier 2 Megas now that I think about it, but I'm going to go for Mega Beedrill this season. This is a Mega I actually don't think I've used before. I might have used it in something. No, I used it in a league before, but I don't remember what it was. So, yeah. Mega Beedrill kind of keeps up what I've kind of like going for in offensive megas. You know, I've drafted Mega Absol, I think, twice now, and as much as you can say it's a defensive mega as well, I did draft Mega Aggron, which I feel like is a pretty offensive one as well. I don't know what I drafted on Season 2 as my mega. I think that was Absol, actually. Season 4 was Absol as well, I think. Yeah, what was Season 5? Season 5 was Venusaur. It was like the one defensive mega I went with. But, yeah, so what I love about Beedrill is that base 150 attack with adaptability, base 145 speed, pretty much has no defenses, but who needs defenses when you're a Beedrill? You know, I've got some pretty nice options on Beedrill. Poison Jab, U-turn, Fell Stinger is a really good move. If you can get a boost from that, you pretty much just sweep with Beedrill. Knockoff, Drill Run, Double Edge, even though it's probably not something I would ever use, but it gets it. You know, it also gets a nice kind of hazard and has a clearing option in Defog and Toxic Spike, so that's both pretty cool. Gets Tailwind, gets Roost, which is not viable on this because it has base 0 defense, so it's like, who uses Roost, but gets it. Gets a couple of special attacks with its base, what, 15? Yeah, base 15 special attack, so I really feel like that's pretty viable, honestly. Might be something I think I have to try out, you know, so yeah, that's a Beedrill. Anyway, at this stage of the season, I already realized my draft is pretty offensive, so I'm going to keep going with offense. I'm in Ninetales, Alolan Ninetales. It's not the most offensive thing, but it's not the most defensive thing either. It's actually quite speedy as well. Base 109 speed, which is nice. Base 100 spurt depth. Base 81 special attack. All those stats are pretty decent. 73 HP is not great, but it's there. And 75 defense isn't great, but it's there. Now, Ninetales does a good amount of things for me. First of all, sets Hail, which you're going to see later is pretty good for me. I need Hail. Hail is very nice. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Also, can be Scarf, Specs, Life Orb, Light Clay. Light Clay works because Aurora Veil and Snow as well. It doesn't work on Snow. What am I saying? I'm an idiot. What am I saying? Yeah, but it works really well for Aurora Veil, keeping that up, because Aurora Veil is just the best move in the game. Let's be honest. Aurora Veil is the best move in the game. You know, it's a reflect light screen. It's both. It's both. And also, Ninetales is really nice on the offensive side. You know, not having access to Nasty Plot, Blizzard, Freeze Dry, Moonblast, Dark Pulse. I didn't know it got that, but it does. Dazzling Gleam, Hex. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing at this stage, just reading moves out. And then, of course, Hidden Power. So it does get a pretty good offensive kind of presence. And it honestly, it's pretty good for my team. Honestly, the main reason I picked it was for my Tier 5 later, but I still feel like it does a lot on its own. Now, at this stage, of course, I have to realize I have too much offense, so I have to pick defense. And it's not the most defensive, but it's the most defensive mon on my team, and that's Bronzong. So, you know, base 116 on both defenses, but only base 67 on HP, so still not the bulky. But yeah, Bronzong's pretty great. It's my first rock setter, which is something I probably should have got more of in this draft, I'll admit, but I have 3 of them in the draft, so it's not that bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. Now, Bronzong's a mon I really enjoy. I've used it a couple of times now, so yeah, gyrable, Stealth Rocks, and Gyrable. But mainly this one gets things like Gyrable, Stealth Rocks, Toxic, Trick Room, and you know, stuff like that, along with the both dual screens, and then Explosion. That's probably the most best moves it gets, to be honest. Gets some pretty decent, gets some coverage other than that. You know, gets Earthquake, gets Iron Head, gets stuff like that. But it's pretty good. I like Bronzong. Bronzong's cool. Bronzong's a mon. Not the best mon, but it's a mon. And that's all it needs to be, you know. Also needs to be a bit bulky, and it is. So, yeah. Also, I didn't have a steel type, and I felt like this was probably the best steel type in Tier 4. So I went with it. Anyway, now I'm going back to the offense with Sandslash, with Alolan Sandslash. I think you probably all knew I had this, because I pretty much, I mean, what else really uses Hail? Beartic? Some other stuff. I don't really know what else really runs Slush Rush, but nothing runs it as well as Sandslash. Sandslash is amazing. This is one of my Z offense mons. Get 2 of those, and this is one of them. This is so good with Z offense. You know, I have it in another league, and ICM Z is probably my favorite thing to run in that. You know, I also get knockoff, Iron Head, Earthquake. This thing also gets Aurora Veil. I feel like I'm never going to go for it with this, but it gets it. Also, this is a Stealth Rock setter, which means I have 4 that I didn't know about. This one did it. So yeah, this has Stealth Rock, so we have 4 Rock setters. Also get some other offensive moves like Leech Life, Poison Jab, Return, because obviously that's what I'm going to be running. Return, Sandslash. I'm joking, but yeah, it's just pretty much attack with Hail up, maybe Swords Dance once, but after that it's just kill as much as you can, and Sandslash is very good at that. So now is where I start needing more bulk and actually going for bulk. So yeah, let's jump into Snorlax. Snorlax is bulky with base 160 HP and both base 110 on both defenses. Oh no, it doesn't have base 110 on both defenses. Never mind. Base 110 Spadef and base 110 attack with 65 defense. But it's still a Spadeful and a pretty decent Fizdeful, but not that great. But Spadeful, you know. Of course, Curse Lax is probably the most broken thing the Snorlax can do, which isn't that broken, so don't know why I said that. But honestly, Body Slam, Curse, Rest, and what's the 4th move? Recycle? No. Why would it be Recycle? It can really do anything with 4th moves. Sleep Talk's the one. That's the move. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much the main set you'd run with it. But you can run like Recycle sets. You can just run offensive Snorlax, because I'm going to go 4 attack Snorlax. Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Seed Bomb, Wild Charge, Viability. Right there. But this is pretty much one of my best rules, and I want to use it as that. It's going to be pretty much a pivot that I need to keep around for later in the matches, and just can live any hit that it needs to, especially on the Spadef side. I do not have a Spadef wall at this stage. Anyway, before we move on, I just want to say I forgot that both Beedrill and Manaphy get U-turn. And I said it on Beedrill, but Manaphy gets U-turn. I doubt I'd use it, but it gets it. So I guess it gets momentum. So Manaphy has momentum. Good to know. Anyway, let's move on to Vaporeon, another water type, but this time it's the bulky water type. This is my bulky water. You have to have a bulky water on a draft, otherwise it's not a real draft. Anyway, Vaporeon doesn't have the greatest stats, 130 on HP, but only 95 and 60 on the defenses, so once again not the best thing for defense, but it does get Wish, which is the best move, which is one of the best moves in the game, so yeah. Anyway. This thing also gets like Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, Roar, stuff like that. But yeah. I hate being interrupted. Anyway, back to this. Vaporeon gets Water Absorb, which is a really nice ability. Also gets Hydration, which I guess is pretty good if I have the Rain Up with Manaphy. Other than that though, gets Protect and Heal Bell, and that's about all I had left to say. Because I mean, it gets Baton Pass. I doubt I'd use it because, I mean, it's allowed in the league, but technically it's not really doing much, is it? Anyway, moving on. Lando I was we're moving into my last free picks, and Lando I was a tier 2, and I took it because I wanted it. I felt like it was really good for my team. You know, I'm going back to the offense, but still. Anyway, this thing can be offensive on both sides. It's more special, but it gets bulk up and, you know, can hit pretty hard on the physical side with moves like Earthquake, Explosion, Brick Break, Hammer Arm, Outrage, and Knockoff. But more than likely you're going to go special with the Sludge Wave, Hidden Power Ice, I don't know what else it gets. Earth Power. Yeah, stuff like that. But anyway. This one also gets Rock Polish, which is really nice. Gets Swords Dance, we can also go with that offensively. Gets a U-Turn, which is really nice. I'm saying really nice a lot, just realized that. But I'm also using this as my other Z offense, so I can run things like Ground EMZ, Poisonium Z, Buginium Z, Dragonium, Darkium, Psychicium, Phytinium, Normalium, Grassium. It can run all of those, which in my opinion is amazing. You know, granted I don't know if I would run them all, but it has so many options for Z moves, and that is the main reason I went with it for my other Zmon. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to our last two. Moving down the line, we have Stack Attacker. Who doesn't love this mon? This mon's the greatest mon in the game, to be fair. It has one of the best defense stats in the world. Base 200, so this is my Mega Aggron this time. Also has base 131 attack, and pretty much every other stat's bad. Actually no, Spadef is 101, but the rest of the stats are terrible. So, gets Beast Boost as the ability, which is probably the best ability in the game, but like, you know. Also gets Jarable, which with its base, what, 13 speed is not very good. You know, Trick Room is also amazing on this mon, and my team actually works decently well with Trick Room in a way. You know, I can run Bronzong, Sandslash, Snorlax, Vaporeon, Stack Attacker. All of those work really well under Trick Room. And then I guess I could run a Lagging Tail. Is that the item? Let me have a quick look. Yeah. Yeah, Holder uses moves last in its priority bracket. I don't think that works like that. I really don't know how that works, but you know, I still have a pretty slow team in a way, so it could work. You know, it gets Iron Head, it gets Rock Blast, it gets EQ. It doesn't have the most options, but what it does have is really good because it hits so hard, and it also is a really nice tank, and pretty much OHKOs everything with Jarable, so it's pretty viable. But yeah, we're getting to the last one here. And we all knew what I had to draft, you know, I had to draft my, we had to draft the web setter of, you know, potentially the best player the WPL has ever seen, Slaybait. So we have to draft his Ariados. Yeah, also this was maybe because I couldn't draft Leavanny, but, you know, I obviously did this just to get the amazing web setter that my Lord Slaybait used while he was in the WPL. Of course, really all this thing does is use webs. I guess it also has that really interesting, it has its own move, Toxic Thread, which lowers the target speed and poisons it, which is pretty much Sticky Web and Toxic Spike combined. Dun, dun, dun. Also, this thing does get Toxic Spike, it gets Poison Jab, Mega Horn, Sucker Punch, although none of those are doing anything because it only has base 90 attack, and you're not going to put anything in the attack stat, because no one's going to put anything in any stat on Ariados and make it decent, because it's trash. No, but seriously, this mod isn't that good. I picked it because I wanted a web setter and Leavanny was gone, and I feel like Leavanny's like better than this, I really wanted it, but it's gone. Anyway, there's pretty much nothing else this does, so that's pretty much the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my draft analysis. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. But let's be honest, no one enjoyed this video because it was a bad video. So thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.